And as I stated before, the reason why I do not abandon or waive any of my rights for the longest time, and the international community has been dealing with this, and they're dealing with this now. The colonizing bodies of people have been usurping off the people's hereditaments for the longest time under color of law and as cheating. And so I'm standing firmly on my square. I am not budging from this position. This was fraud that has occurred. It is not a civil matter. He committed fraud, and he blatantly admitted it to me and claimed, well, you know what? Your vehicle is old. There's no way of proving it. Prove it. He knew exactly what he was doing, and he did it intentionally. That's genocide. That's under the crimes of genocide. Under international law. I am a national, and so I am secured under international law. I am also secured by the state's constitution, which you gave an oath to uphold. I'm not asking, he is operating as a fiction. I am not operating as a fiction. I am in my proper person status of improprium persona sui juris. And I am in full life status of in plena vita. That means full life. I am not civilly dead. I am not civil liter mortuus, which means dead in the view of the law. I have full rights and capacities to law. And you, as a public servant claiming to be, I'm demanding that you secure my inalienable rights, my inalienable rights, those rights which are allodial with the principles of man, egalitarianism. That's a demand. And so when I bring this before the international courts of justice, like continued, and as well as Interpol, I'm going to continue to make sure that all of these so-called public officials over here at the county council, that they're listed as co-conspirators as well. And if you don't do your job, you will be listed the same. That's my word on my family's crest, and seal. And my friend, I am quite noble in my character and my person as a natural person. I'm talking about law, never mentioning any type of civil rights. Civil rights are for Negroes and colored people. I am not a fiction. African American, blacks, Negroes, these terms hold no technical signification that the courts or law are bound judicially to know. You know, like in the Dred Scott case, when you have Judge Taney and he says a black man has no rights that a white man are bound to recognize because he's talking about status. I understand very well. When Europeans became free white people under the Naturalization Act of 1870, I'm talking about status and law. Recognize that. And I'm going to bring full charges to everyone who is a co-conspirator involved in this for fraud, for extortion, fraud again, because that's what was committed, and fraud has no statutes of limitations under international law. That way it stays out of your little colorful military tribunals. Booty and prize courts. My bookshelf is stout, my friend. Hugo Gratuitous. Montesquieu. My bookshelf is stout, my friend. I understand law very well. Jurisprudence, the science that treats up positive law. You better get it right. Check the verbiage. Understand where I'm coming from. I'm not coming from a position of color of law. Nothing semblance about here. There's no feigning over here. You're talking about dealing with flesh and blood, the rights of people. You gave an oath. You're bonded to do so. I'm going to hold you to that oath. And if you don't have it, and when I go to pull it, if it's not correct and in order how it's supposed to be, I'll make sure you don't have a job, because I'll make sure the whole world can see it. That goes for your supervisor as well. Again, this is being recorded. Do you get my drift?